Welcome to the second episode of our continuing four-part series, The Story of the National Government Constituencies Development Fund. Remember, the fund allocates about 137 million shillings per constituency every year. And the question is, just how much of that money goes into education and how is it utilized? Welcome, I'm Alex Chamwada. Education takes up 72% of the total NG-CDF budget annually. This money is spent in bursaries, infrastructural growth, feeding programs, and other education-related areas. NG-CDF CEO Yusuf Mbuno explains why the fund is key to education.
There has been a significant achievement in terms of development realized since the advent of National Government CDF in the year 2003 when the fund was first established. We've seen a lot of development. Very many schools have been started across the country. And of course, even in the existing schools, there's a need for additional infrastructure as the population continues to grow. And I want to say that actually the largest proportion every year goes to education. And that one is not determined by the national board because the funds, once they are allocated to a constituency, it's the constituency that in consultation with Wananchi they identify the proposals. So it means it is the Wananchi who are proposing that most of the projects that they want are in education.
In the education sector, allocation of bursaries is one of the priority areas.
The support was so significant in that me being a student from KIBERA could not have raised that much school fee. Yeah, so they gave us a hand and everything was smooth for the 4-year course.
Through CDF, I was able to learn right from Form 1 to Form 4. The university I was also supported. Actually, I did my education degree in Kenyatta University. So all along, I'm a CDF product.
According to the NG-CDF board, development of infrastructure in schools has been at the core of its mandate.
When the government declared 100% transition from primary to secondary, the board came in time to develop sufficient infrastructure in schools to be able to absorb the large numbers of students that were transiting from primary to secondary. At the same time, we also went out to see that the quality of infrastructure in the primary schools is also improved in terms of classrooms, in terms of sanitary facilities, in terms of availing water for use in schools. And the board also has had a major impact on education provision by way of reaching the needy children who wouldn't otherwise access education through bursaries that we normally give at the constituency level.
In Machakos Town constituency, Katelembo Center of Excellence that was started in the year 2010 is one of the beneficiaries of the NG-CDF.
The CDF funded the fencing of the entire school. 2011-2012, when the ESP project was phased off, they actually constructed these 2 classes here. Then 2014-2015, they constructed these 2 other classes, so those are 4 classes. Then they also constructed this dormitory, and then the bus.
And amid the COVID pandemic, schools are challenged in terms of social distancing. Education stakeholders hope that NG-CDF will help deal with the challenge.
We have 2 dormitories housing 366 boys who are already congested. So it is a challenge for us. We are trying to see whether the CDF can assist us to have an extra dormitory before the boys come back.
We cannot, with COVID protocols, actually accommodate all the students because our classes are running between 35, 40, 45. So with the COVID protocol of 1.5 meters apart, it is not possible that all the students can be accommodated at once.
COVID-19 has affected the country in so many ways. We need additional classrooms, we need additional infrastructure, even school buses are required, like in an urban area like now Nairobi. If you are going to open schools and expect the students to jump into matatus, you can see some problem there. So the schools that have school buses have a better way of tackling the situation, better than others. So all the infrastructure, it means if you talk about dormitories, every school must look at the possibility of expanding their dormitories to be able to accommodate that. And of course, on the economic front, you know, COVID-19 has affected all of us. People are not doing very well economically. That means even the parents who would have afforded the school fees now will face a challenge. So I foresee a situation whereby even the demand for education bursary will be higher. We are working with the constituencies to see the best way forward in terms of addressing those challenges.
Indeed, infrastructure consumes a huge chunk of the funds allocated to education.
Most of our projects, we concentrate so much in schools, primary and secondaries. And this one has really impacted very, very positively to the society, because we are doing classrooms, we are building classrooms, we are doing labs for secondary schools, we are doing renovations, and this one has really improved these facilities in the schools that we've done, and we've seen it also translate to improved grades.
We were privileged to have gotten funding from the KIBERA CDF, fully funded the school from the beginning, from the scratch, to get for us what we have now as our complex of 12 classrooms, science rooms and offices. And we are very grateful that the CDF board saw it fit to put up a facility of this nature here, because this became the 6th public secondary school in KIBERA constituency.
In 2015, CDF started by constructing for us this dormitory you see here, the ground floor, for the transition of these 94 students who were already in the school. So the construction started. As the construction started now, we needed more facilities because we needed to start the school. Even desks were not there. Through CDF, we were able to get 100 desks.
We have primary schools in Kajiado Central. We've done quite a lot of classrooms in almost every school. Actually, if you go around, you will not find any primary school without a classroom, a dormitory, or maybe a library.
We have started as CDF 6 fully equipped secondary schools with classrooms, with administration blocks, with laboratories, 6 of them in different wards, and this has created massive transition from primary schools to secondary schools.
Due to the intervention of NG-CDF in education, the enrollment of students in schools has risen. Here are examples from some of the constituencies we visited.
The transition level has significantly improved from about 40% 6 years ago to about more than 80% at the moment.
The CDF came in and they said that they are going to give bursaries to those boys. So parents were motivated and they really brought the boys here. And then the girls also, because you know the fee for boarding is higher, they are given at least 50% of the CDF bursary. 2018, the enrollment was 70. 2019, it doubled, we were 145. And now 2020, we are at 202.
Infrastructure alone is not enough, and the NG-CDF has invested in wholesome growth for the students in schools.
The CDF has also put up education days for the entire sub-county, whereby we nurture the talents of the learners, we uplift their levels of education, because as KIBERA, we don't only look at the academic, we look at the co-curriculum and the curriculum, the talents that these learners have.
Our students come from different backgrounds, but mostly from slum dwellings. And to fully teach a student, you also need to transform their thinking and their mind. Now, having the proper classes that we have, teaching them using new technology, we teach using projectors in class and laptops, already gives us students a new perspective to life.
We've started the project of buying school buses. So the last financial year we are buying a bus for Guinea Secondary School.
With a bus, we normally subsidize the cost of running to the school. Students will be able to have academic tours They'll be able to exchange, ideas in case when they need to travel. The parents don't have to pay so much for the transport and all that.
When I came in, I received the bus, which was a great blessing for the girls. And the bus has helped us quite a great deal, because we've been, like when you're going home on midterm, or when you're going for drama, music festivals, games, it's now been easy with the bus. By the way, because of the bus, the girls now feel on top of the world. Their self-esteem is very high.
When it comes to hygiene, the NG-CDF has ensured that students have modern ablution blocks.
Yeah, toilets may look a bit a small project, but for us here in Kadhiani, it has really been a very big achievement. When we started doing toilets like 6-7 years back, we were getting overwhelming requests for toilets that and sank during the rainy season.
Ndio watu wa CDF tukawayulisha, na kwa haraka sana wakatuitikia, na tukawaona wakaja, wakaangalia shule na hali na vile wasichana wanateseka, wakachukua jukumu hilo, wakatujengea choo.
Although water is a devolved function of government, NG-CDF funds water projects if they are within education institutions. Water and sanitation are crucial to the fight against the COVID-19 pandemic. Hence, such projects are considered by stakeholders as being timely.
Niko na mtoto katika darasa ya PP1. Hata yeye alikuwa anapitia hiyo changamoto, lakini sasa tumefaidika wote kwa sababu mtoto wangu hana hiyo uchovu ya kwenda kuchota maji mbalimbali, na sasa kama ni kukunywa maji iko kwa wingi. Saa zenye unaenda kukunywa, na saa zile wanaenda msalani, wakirudi wanaosha mikono. Kama saa kwa hii season ya corona, japokuwa hawajaenda shule, lakini hiyo changamoto wamejua kuosha mikono na hiyo magonjwa imewaondokea.
As you can see, we have now a borehole in the school, and given that we will have water, better classes, we need to encourage them to bring more facilities in the school.
The story of the National Government Constituencies Development Fund continues.
Haikuwa safe. Kwa maana there was a time hata gari iliingia mpaka kwa ofisi ya assistant chief hapa ikaingia ndani.
Next week, we will focus on how the funds are utilized in the security sector, which is the second biggest beneficiary of the fund. Many thanks for watching.